Many times our clients like to ask us, what kind of cases do you work on? What are the results you get? Well, here's a case that if you remember back a few years ago, we talked about this case in the state of New Jersey. There was a company called NRIA, National Realty Investment Associates, and I'm sorry, Investment Advisors. And this company was advertising all over the place. Fox News, CNBC, CNN, ESPN. They were advertising all over the airwaves about this investment. You could put money in and make a lot of profit. And we had some investors contact us that were skeptical about it, and we did an investigation, and we found that it was appearing to be a Ponzi scheme. In fact, one of their executives had previous convictions for fraud. One of their investors had been admonished by the SEC allegedly for doing unregistered securities. Another of their executives actually changed the spelling of their last name so they couldn't be identified as somebody who had a history. And we wrote reports and gave all this to investors, and it kind of started a domino effect where investors who hadn't put money in yet were pulling away from the company. Investors who put money in were starting to get scared, and they were filing reports with the Attorney General and the SEC. And our investigative case started a lot of this. Well, now, a few years later, the whole thing has blown up, and these people are now being sentenced. There was a conviction back earlier this year, and the chief executive is going to get 12 years. You will be back in your video in just a few seconds. In the meantime, remember that actualhuman.com offers you live one-on-one private video consultation with an expert in this exact subject. We want to listen to your story. We want to hear your questions. We want to give you expert advisement of your options and tell you what we know about your particular situation. Now back to your video. In prison, and he's going to have to pay back restitution. They stole $650 million. The whole thing was a Ponzi scheme, and he admitted it in court. This was a big case. This was a company that represented that they were buying real estate all over the east coast of the United States, from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida. They had supposedly all these properties in Florida. And we did some research on these properties too, and they weren't exactly what they were represented to be. We did financial investigations and analysis on these properties, and they weren't investments. They were just properties that were just flat out there. So make sure you do your due diligence. Anytime somebody offers more than is reasonable, you know, if it's too good to be true kind of thing, make sure that you do investigations on the principles. That was the easiest thing on this. We did investigations on the principles of this company. We found one with a prior regulatory admonishment. We found one with a criminal history. We found one that was changing their name on the records for this new company. And we'd like to see when these cases come to fruition. Sometimes it takes a while. This one took 2.5, 3 years to get to this point. But now the company's been busted. The money's been redistributed. People are going to prison. People have been convicted. And this is what we'd like to see, so no more victims are at risk. So if you're involved with an investment you're not sure about, you're thinking about an investment, you can click the link below to have either investigations done, or we can even do a consultation with you to kind of give you an idea of what you might be looking at. If you found this video helpful, be sure to click on other videos on our channel to see if there's further information that could give you more insight into resolving your particular situation.